I studied at NKUHT in 2012, which is in Kaohsiung.
Oh.
My friend said, okay, meet me at McDonald's. So I walk
That's
up
funny.
to Abe sitting on the bench. I'm like, 不好意思, do you know where McDonald's is? And he's like, huh? 你知道 da 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 在哪里? Oh, 对对对. During COVID time, I couldn't go home because Canada was worse.
Yeah.
2 hours before I have a class, my mom calls me, oh, Jamie, sorry to let you know, your grandmother has passed away.
Have you ever dealt with any kind of racism here?
I see a guy walking towards me, and he's looking at me sideways. He starts drifting closer to me. He turns around and says,
Cole Fogel, and today I am with, I'll just let you introduce yourself.
all right, my name is Jamie Lewis.
Where are you from, Jamie?
I'm from Toronto. I was born and raised in Toronto.
Yeah.
And then grade 9 moved to Brampton. And then when I was 22, I moved to Taiwan. And I've been in Taiwan for about 10 years now.
I was excited when I met you. I don't really meet that many Toronto people. I meet Canadians, but I feel like, you know, when you meet someone from your hometown or from the area that you come from, there's just sort of an understanding, I think, that you can have with those people.
100%, yeah. Because we come from the same culture, we have a base understanding and
Yeah.
similar values as
Yeah.
well. That being said, when people ask me where I'm from and I say Toronto, the question is always going to be, are you really from Toronto though? On my mom's side, she is the 6th generation, I'm 7th generation Canadian.
Canadian, okay.
And then there's, you know, England, Ireland in there as well. My father was born in Toronto and then brought back to the Caribbean.
Okay.
Specifically, he was brought to Barbados and then St. Lucia. That's where my grandmother is from.
Cool.
And then back to Canada again. So my dad is 1st generation Canadian. Yeah, so I've always had this multiple perspectives of my life being, oh, I'm so rooted in Canada.
Yeah.
Half black, half white, 100% mixed. For me growing up in Toronto, we're so blessed. The most
Yeah.
multicultural city in the world.
Yeah, Toronto's pretty awesome that way.
So my school, I grew up with black kids, white kids, Asian kids, Indian kids.
Likewise.
And it's just so normal. So even mixed kids.
Yeah.
Most of my friends in high school, college are mixed. I grew up and by proximity closest with my mom's side family, the white side of my family. I grew up with my mom as a single mother raising me.
Oh, okay, your parents are divorced, I got you, okay.
My mother loves hip hop, R&B, old school music.
Oh.
My dad likes watching the Maple Leafs and listening to rock music, and Rush is his favorite band. And the black side of my family, it's a little bit scattered, not as close. And I've told you, like off camera, me going back home this time,
Yeah.
even I got to meet some cousins I've never met before.
Like on the black side?
Yeah. So my whole life, I've had 2 homes.
Oh.
And that's been okay.
I would say Toronto, we don't deal with like a lot of racism, right? In Toronto, it's not so bad. Would you agree?
In Toronto growing up, no, I didn't deal with any bullying. There was name calling because of skin, but I think, yeah, kids are always going to do this. If you see something that looks completely different than you, kids are so blunt and forward to say, hey, why are you black?
Well, here they're
why are you
very,
blunt? Oh,
here
why
they're
you-
certainly blunt about Wygoran.
Right,
for
right,
sure.
right. But, you know, that's interesting too because Wygoran means not Taiwanese,
Just
to
foreign. Yeah.
foreigner, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're from Southeast Asia, they don't say Wygoran,
No, yeah, they wouldn't.
right?
Yeah.
And if you're black, they also seldom, or not always will say Wygoran, they'll just say black person.
Heiran.
Heiran.
Yeah.
Heiran,
That's the weird
Wygoran.
one for me, isn't it?
Right? And then Filipino, Thai,
Yeah.
Indonesian, it's going to be maybe Wailao.
Yeah, it's interesting why the differentiation.
They're all people from other countries that come to
Yeah.
Taiwan to work, but we have different names for them. I
Yeah.
don't know why that is.
What brought you to Taiwan and what was your first year in Taiwan?
My first time in Taiwan was 2012
Okay.
as an exchange student. I studied at NKUHT, which is in Kaohsiung.
Oh, cool.
I'm a graduate from Humber College in Toronto. I went to that college because I studied tourism management,
Oh.
and I wanted to do a study at sea experience, which Humber offered. And I was going to go to the Galapagos Islands and see the large tortoises, and that was my dream cruise.
That'd be beautiful.
Then we had an exchange teacher, who is still a teacher at NKUHT in Kaohsiung. She was my
Yeah.
first Taiwan experience, and
so
she said,
cool.
"Oh, we have a new experience for Humber students, where you can go from Humber to Taiwan for 4.5 months,
Oh, that's awesome.
and it would cost the exact same as a cruise to the Galapagos for 3.5 weeks.
Hell yeah, give me Taiwan then, of
Quick
course.
maths. Yes, came to Taiwan. So that was my first experience here. The weather, the friends I made, the safety.
Kaohsiung?
Kaohsiung. I lived in Xiaogang, and I thought
Yeah.
all of Taiwan was Xiaogang. So there's a small night market, of course, in
Yeah.
Xiaogang, and we'd always go there to eat. And my friends invited me to go eat at another night market called Reifong Night Market. But
Yeah.
I'm coming from Xiaogang thinking this is the night market. When I went to Reifong Night Market,
So big.
wow. Yeah, sensory overload.
Yeah.
The music, the people, the food, the smells.
More social, probably more exciting for you, I
Yes.
imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2012, 4-month exchange.
Yep. Yeah, so there's 13 of us coming from Humber here. And then we were roommates in dormitory.
Did you know when you went back to Canada that you would one day did you have a feeling like you wanted to live here at some point?
Yeah. When I went back with the original people that went, one of the girls, she was so excited to go back home. I miss my family, I miss my sisters, my mom, my dad. And I'm like, yeah. So we get to the airport, she sees her family, she's giving them hugs. I see my mom, hey mom. And we get in the car and I'm like crying. And she's like, oh, you really miss it? I'm like, yeah. I didn't realize.
Right when
I got back. And my mom felt bad, but she's like, if you really want to make it, you'll find a way to make it.
Yeah, you'll go back.
And then 2 years later, one of my classmates had said, Jamie, if you want to live in Taiwan, I know there's a lot of foreigners that come to Taiwan and they teach English.
Yeah.
So I went to school to learn how to teach English. And then I came back. But I didn't come back to teach English in Taiwan. I came back to live in Taiwan, and teaching English was the opportunity for me to
As it is for many of us.
Yeah, but a lot of people come here to teach, have a year or two abroad in a new country.
It's a good foot in the door, though, for people like us, though, that weren't necessarily just coming here to teach and wanted to potentially make a life here.
Yeah. Did you come to teach, or you came to live?
No, I came for adventure.
You came for adventure?
My sister was already here.
Yeah.
And things weren't flowing for me back home, and my sister said, why don't you just come here? But my purpose for coming here wasn't to be an English teacher. That was just the job that I found to support myself, but it was more just to get away from Canada and have an adventure.
Yep.
You moved back in 2014.
Yeah.
Kaohsiung.
Taoyuan.
Oh, Taoyuan.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I wanted to see what the north of Taiwan was like, so I moved to Taoyuan. But I still had classmates here in Kaohsiung. So I came down from Taoyuan to Kaohsiung, and I was at the HSR station. My friend said, okay, meet me at McDonald's. Let me ask somebody here. Let me practice my Chinese.
Yeah.
So I walk
That's
up
funny.
to Abe sitting on the bench. I'm like, 不好意思，你知道麦当劳在哪里吗? And he's like, huh?
Do you know how many hats I've gotten in my life trying to find my way or navigate reality? Yeah.
Do you know where McDonald's is? And he's like, huh? And I'm like, 你知道哒哒哒哒哒在哪里? Oh, 对对对，你就是要去那边，然后右转. Oh, you got it.
That's
You got
hilarious.
it.
How is that brainwashing for McDonald's?
So my first full year was in Taoyuan.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, this rain, it
Oh.
ain't it.
Taipei and Taoyuan,
This
it
ain't
does
it.
rain a lot.
So I did a year in Taoyuan, and I moved back down to Kaohsiung immediately.
Oh.
Because I'm like, oh, I knew where the good life was. It's in
Yeah.
Kaohsiung. Let's go back to Kaohsiung. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great, you know.
You know what they say in Taoyuan? You know the locals say in Taoyuan? This is not my words. Pretty mountains,
Yeah.
pretty sea,
Yeah,
pretty boring.
Yeah.
After a year, I came back to Kaohsiung, and I taught for 3.5 years, and I got to the point of stagnation, where I realized, oh, I'm just teaching now. Now I'm just doing what I didn't want to do
Yeah.
back home.
Yeah.
And I was at the point of, I came here for adventure, and I'm not adventuring anymore.
And now I'm just one of those English teachers.
Yeah. And so I decided to leave to go to Canada. I did a cruise with my family in the Caribbean.
Oh, cool.
I went to Peru for 10 days, and that was amazing. And I went to do a working holiday in New Zealand. I was a year and a half
Wow.
away from my APRC, but I figured if I stay at the APRC, then I probably won't want to leave again, and then I'll just
Yeah.
end up resenting Taiwan.
So you left.
So let me leave, follow my heart,
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
want to do, and if I want to come back, I'll come back.
You did a working holiday in New Zealand.
That was a cool experience.
Yeah.
That was very Hakuna Matata. Very Hakuna, like no worries about nothing. What are you doing? You wake up. I did 4 different jobs, I did housekeeping. I worked on a farm pruning apples.
Oh,
Learned a
that's
lot about
interesting.
life there. Yeah. I worked at a surf hostel where I didn't get paid anything, but I got accommodation for free, and I got to surf every day. So I learned how to surf in New Zealand. And then I worked doing cold calls in Queenstown, New Zealand.
Wow.
The most beautiful place I've ever lived in, hands down.
So that was a year of your life?
6 months.
Oh, 6 months.
I
Sorry.
wanted to work at a ski resort.
Yeah.
I didn't get the job.
Oh.
Let me reevaluate what I want in my life. What I want safety.
Yeah.
I want to be able to push myself.
Yeah.
I want flexibility of time. I want great weather.
You came back to Taiwan again.
I still want to live in Taiwan because of the life and everything it has to offer, and I love Taiwan. But I don't want to teach English.
Yeah.
I came with a mission to start my own business.
There we go.
You know, I came back June 2019. I wanted to do a tourism business.
Oh.
That got shut off. You know, COVID happened. And
Yeah.
during COVID time, I couldn't go home because Canada was worse.
Yeah.
At least with technology, I can call my mom, call my dad. But there's one person I couldn't call, and that was my grandmother. She passed away when I was in Taoyuan. Just 1 year after arriving in Taoyuan to teach. She didn't tell me what she was diagnosed with. She didn't tell anybody because she didn't want me to worry. And then I get the call 2 hours before I have a class.
Oh
my mom calls me, "Oh, Jamie, sorry to let you know, your grandmother has passed away. And I have class in 2 hours."
Did you take the day off?
No. I had no clue how to process my feelings. Go to class, and every day it's a question of the day. Today's question: who's the most important person in your life? For me, it was her.
Oh.
She was the one who understood me the most.
You're trying to make me cry right now.
Yeah, I got home afterwards. I'm eating my biendang, and I'm not trying to think about it. My friend comes up behind me. "Hey, bud, you okay?"
No.
And I just start bawling.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's heavy because you're so far away.
My grandmother, she left St. Lucia to move to Canada to have a better life for herself. She was a foreigner in a new country. To preserve her culture,
Yeah.
for me, she would make me a drink called sorrel. This is sorrel drink. All natural ingredients being hibiscus flower, cinnamon, ginger, and spices. And then to sweeten it, they use organic cane sugar as well. Every Caribbean island makes it a little bit differently. So I try to remake what she had made for me, but she never taught me how to make it.
Oh.
So I'm just going off memory and a lot of trial and error.
Off camera, we met the other day and I tried it. I think it's delicious.
Yeah, thank you. What drives me is trying to help other people. So
Yeah.
I've dedicated from day one that I donate 10% of all my profit to a charity called Charity Water.
Oh, cool.
And they put 100% of donations to building wells in places that don't have access to clean water.
This is not a sponsored video, by the way. Don't you want to see this in every 7-Eleven? Because it's healthy. Your grandma's face, like I love that so much. Because I loved my grandma very much, and I think this culture loves their grandmas very much.
My grandmother is still alive in spirit, and I feel her love whenever I have the drink. And Taiwanese people, they know all these ingredients. They have hibiscus tea.
Yeah.
They use cinnamon and ginger and cloves. We all live in one world. We're all one people. We all have the same access to the same ingredients. They would just mix it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we just mix it
We just
differently.
mix it a little bit different.
Some of us look like this, and some of us look like this. Have you ever dealt with any kind of racism here in Taiwan?
I had an instance. I'm walking home, see a guy walking towards me, and he's looking at me sideways. Looking at me like this. And I'm like, oh, this guy looks angry. Whatever, I'm going home. I got stuff to take care of. And as we're walking towards each other, he starts drifting closer to me. So I move over a little bit, and he's still coming. I'm like, we're getting this close now? I'm like, wow, is he actually going to hit me? And when we walk by, he shoulder checks me to the point where I spin around, and he keeps walking like nothing happened.
Strange.
So I turn around,
Yeah.
the positive person I am, and I raise my voice, and I said, hey, what's your problem?
Yeah. Very Torontonian.
Warning, the things you're about to hear may offend some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah.
I say, hey, what's your problem? He turns around and says, you're a fucking nigger. That's my fucking problem. Get the fuck out of my country. And now he starts walking towards me. what did you say? You heard me? He says it again. Get
Yeah.
out of my country. I'm like, whoa, this is not good. So I take out my phone to protect myself
Yeah, of
and
course.
to protect him. Because I can't fight this person
Yeah.
who looks Asian.
Yeah.
Because I know if he is Taiwanese,
Yeah.
no matter what the outcome,
It
I
won't
get
be good
deported.
for you. Yeah, you could be.
And I'm fighting for something
Yeah.
bigger than me.
Yeah.
I need to record this
Yeah.
to protect myself.
Yeah.
This was the only racial thing that has happened to me in
Ever
my life.
in Taiwan?
In my life.
Oh, in your life.
My dad was like, oh, first time, eh? After the incident happened, I go upstairs, I messaged my Taiwanese friend who's a police officer, send him the video. What should I do about this? Because
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Oh, what did he say?
Go to the police. In that moment, though, I need to check in with myself. How are you feeling?
Probably shaken up.
Yeah. I realized in that moment, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
I don't need to be angry with what he has called me.
You don't.
That's not who I am. What does the Bible say for me to do for an enemy? Is pray for them.
That's beautiful.
So in that moment, I prayed for him.
Yeah.
Because if he had done that to my father
Oh,
or my
God.
stepfather, it gets scary. And I live quite close to Kaohsiung American School. So now I'm thinking, if there's a teacher who is a person of color
Yeah.
or a student who is of color who
Yeah.
meets this person who gets attacked because of their skin color,
Yeah.
that is a poison in my community.
Terrible, yeah.
I must go to the police.
But I like that you prayed for him first, because it's kind of your way of saying, like, I want to help you,
Yep,
but I also need to protect my neighborhood.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. Long story short, we went to the police station. We settled what had to be settled.
Yeah.
He sought me out and wanted to talk to me about what he was going through. I am a very patient person. I gave him my ear, I listened to him, and he was new to the country. Yeah, he's another mixed person though, right? He's half Taiwanese, half white,
Coming from another country.
coming from another country. Look at the
Yeah.
commonality between us, not the differences. Yeah. Come
Yeah.
on, man. I forgave him, moved on. A year
Yeah.
later, somebody messages me a video. Hey, is this the same guy that did this to you?
And he did it again.
And he did it again to another person.
That's messed up. Don't let the haters bring you down, I would say, because there's
Yeah.
always going to be, just like trolls on the internet, there's always going to be haters that are trying to lower who you are and know your self-worth,
Yeah.
praying for someone to be better. I mean, because fighting anger with anger or fighting hate with hate, it gets you nowhere but more hate.
Fire and fire builds a bigger fire.
So I appreciate that you were a bigger man with that.
And I hope he doesn't do it again, because it's not going to end well for him.
So you grew up Christian?
No.
What did you grow up? Like, what was your sort of belief system growing up?
So my mom is non-religious,
Okay.
and my father's non-religious. I would drift towards Christianity because of the culture, and my grandmother is Christian. I remember bowling. Please, God, let me get a strike. And I got a strike. And from that day, I knew.
Oh my God, that was your awakening. You're like, God, I know you're out there now.
But then I was never going to church.
Yeah.
It wasn't until New Zealand
Ah.
when I started going to church. And so one Easter, I went to church with my friend, and the pastor says, okay, I want everybody to close your eyes, bow your head. If you feel like you need to accept God, I want you to raise your hand. So I sheepishly raised my hand. I opened my eye, and nobody else has their hand up. I received the New Testament Bible.
Yeah.
I finished reading it.
Wow.
In this point in my life,
Yeah.
I don't know if I will call myself Christian, but I will say that Jesus is the cornerstone which led me to God.
Like, it might be Buddhism for someone else. I mean, to me, God is everywhere, but in everything.
Yeah.
And final question, why are we here? It's one that I'm interested to know each individual how they feel.
Sure.
What is our purpose in this existence, this reality?
I think we are here to do our best, to become the best version of ourselves, while also accepting that we are right now that person,
Yeah.
that thing. and to recognize in others, no matter where they are, they're on a journey of their own. It's everybody's first time living life, so we have to forgive people.
I don't know if you believe in like reincarnation. For me, I think I take more of a Buddhist philosophy in that I think we keep coming back, and I think life is a school. It's like we're students in a school, and we're becoming the best versions of ourselves, but it might take more than one or several lifetimes to get there.
Is there a teacher in the school?
I think maybe when you find God, or maybe when you find gratitude, maybe that's the teacher in it.
Yeah.
Any final words that you want to leave with the audience?
Be kind to yourself and to others.
Well, thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure chatting with you, and I'm glad to share my friendship with you on camera as well.
Yeah, it's cool.
And have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one.
再见.